fresh out the oven.
What is cracking, everybody? It's MegapieMan here, and welcome back to another look at my map video. This time for Payload Midwest Alpha 18, which, depending upon how this plays, could be the last alpha before we hit beta. I don't know. Hopefully it plays well, but if it doesn't, then there will be an Alpha 19, and if it does, maybe there'll be a Beta 1. Who knows? But there is a good amount of changes for this, as I tried to specify on some specific things to make it not crap. I didn't do a video for Alpha 17. I did a video for Alpha 16? Or was it Alpha 15? I don't remember the last video I did for this, but anyway, there's been some changes. I did some aesthetic changes for Blue Spawn, so now it looks like an actual building instead of a bunch of squares, but that's not actually gameplay related, so let's talk about gameplay related things over here at point A. Okay, so I believe the last time that I did a video on this map, I had a route all the way over here that went into this building and up to some windows that were at this spot. The problem that I came across with that is that it made a bit too easy for Blue to capture. So I closed all of that up, got rid of that path, and have focused on this being the main path. But before, I had it so that there was a doorway here, there was a doorway here, that doorway wasn't there, I don't think, but the path came up here. But now that I closed up this path, I'm making this the main doorway. I've raised it up away off the ground a little bit more to make it that much harder for Red Team to get up here, because Red Team's not really supposed to use this room. This is supposed to be a Blue Team room, not a Red Team room. Blue for attacking, not Red for defending. But, I mean, if you rocket jump or sticky bomb jump, you can still get up there. I don't know if you can get up there if you flare jump as the Pyro, or if you double jump as Scout. Probably, if you double jump crouch or something like that. But at least to most classes, you ain't going to get in there, or it's not easy to get in there. The other door that was here, the problem that I was having is that if you did it right, you could jump from this rock, you could do a crouch jump into the building. So I closed that off and open up this door, but the problem with opening up that door is that all of this stuff back here for snipers, they then had a sight line that went straight from up here all the way through here, and then through here, and then all the way over to here, and that is not good. So I had to move around this doorway and all this stuff over here, shifted that a little bit to the right, or a little bit to the left, depending upon what direction you look at it. I took it from over here to over here, let's just say that much. And that seems to have blocked off the weird sightline in there. You still have a sightline into that room from up here, but it's not going through that room. And that helps with sightlines. That also helps with optimization, because hopefully, since you can't see through that room into the other area as well, it won't be rendering stuff over there because you can't see it. At least that's the hope, if I did my optimization correctly. I also put these fences here, which I don't think were here last time. Last time I had like a weird ramp thing that went down this way to hide the if I can just get in there, in the middle, there we go. To hide that change in elevation of the displacements, because I couldn't figure out how to get it to look right with the two of them connecting. So the best way I could get it to look right was just covering up the discrepancy here between the two displacements. And now I've turned it into a fence, which blocks the sight line from here all the way over to here, because that was a little bit much. You still have the sight line that goes from this window over into that room, but it's a specific spot, and I don't have collision on these windows. You can't go through it, because there's a clip brush there, so it stops you from going through it, but it does mean that you can shoot through it, similar to how people usually handle railings, or how you're quote-unquote supposed to handle railings, at least for Team Fortress 2, is you get rid of their collision, and then put a clip brush on it, so you can't walk through it, but you can shoot through it. And that should make it so that snipers can use this to fire over there, but by that, there not being collision on these little posts and whatnot, the window pane, sill, thing should make it easier for like rockets or whatever to get in there and hit who's ever back here. So if somebody is using this spot, all you gotta do is aim for the window and you're probably going to hit them. At least that's the plan. Whether or not that'll work in practice is, of course, a whole different question. Moving on. Down here at B, I moved around a couple of things. I was feeling that some of my paths in the routes, at least for the main route of the map, was beginning to feel a little bit too claustrophobic. So I wanted to open that up a little bit. I'm doing hand gestures when I'm speaking, even though you can't see me. I'm just used to doing it. Anyway, so I got rid of, originally there was a higher area here with these two, this just went out flat this way and then went down and then went over and then went down. I got rid of that and just made the stairs over here. So the stairs go down to here and then the stairs go down to there, which opens up this area a bit more. Hopefully it doesn't feel quite as claustrophobic. It's a bit easier to navigate. I did put all of these props over here because before I had some concrete blocks there. And with the height of the brush underneath, the platform underneath it, it meant that at least as a scout, you could jump onto the concrete block and then jump onto this lip here to get into here, or jump crouch through this window. And I wanted to keep that path. Whether or not people actually will use that path is a different question. But I wanted to keep that path. So I piled up some props down here with these circular cement pipes and barriers and whatnot. Try to make it look flat-ish so it's not as awkward of you standing on nothing. Because, I mean, even though it's flat in between here and it's flat all the way over here, I don't want you like looking like you're floating, you know? So hopefully it doesn't look too bad like you're standing on nothing, but you can still, I think you can even crouch jump on top of these and then jump up here and then try to crouch jump over there, or scouts can at least double jump and double jump. Whether or not they will do that or that does anything to help, I have no idea. I just wanted to do it. So I did. I don't know what else to say to that. Okay, this doorway, this isn't doorway, this ramp used to be stairs. It was a little bit too thin, I felt, for stairs to look right, so I wanted to turn it into a ramp. And to try to fit the mill theme, I put these two conveyor belts down here. But unfortunately, these conveyors do not have collision models, so I cover them with a block bullets brush so that you can't shoot them and you can't go in them. But because there's two here, there was this weird gap in the middle, as you see, like right there, which didn't feel right to me, so I decided I would just put a ramp over top of it. When I get to the detailing stage, I'll probably make it a grate so that you can see them through the brush, but I don't know when I'll get to detailing that at some point in the future. But yeah, I think it widened it a little bit, but I like it because it fits the theme a little bit and it's not as awkward of a staircase. It makes more sense as like a piece of machinery type deal instead of an awkwardly placed staircase. I think I did move around this bridge a little bit. That is incorrect. What is wrong with that texture there? I moved the bridge a little bit over this way, I believe. And I did that because I wanted to keep these angles the same, but I did have to move, because this is wider than the stairs were, so because I wanted to keep the angles of these angled brushes, the textures are all messed up, of these angled brushes the same, I moved them over, which also pushed the bridge back, and that actually helps a little bit because there is a subtle ramp, a subtle incline when you go underneath this bridge, and it took me a while when putting this bridge together to get just the right height that you could get under this thing without getting, your head shoved up into it if you're riding on top of the payload. But by pushing it back should also help make up enough space so that you don't get stuck in this bridge thing. Anyway, moving on. This area right here, this is it's like Badwater B, but it's not area, is what I'm calling this area. When I got this tested last time for the version I did a video of, B really didn't hold at all, unfortunately. red team couldn't figure out where to defend this from because they only had like one spot up here. So I thought, you know what? I'm going to do sort of like a bad water thing and put a high area like overlooking the point where you can put sentries. It's not quite the same as bad water because bad water's got all of this area you can use to go to deal with it. Well, that doesn't. But of course, you know, this isn't bad water. This is Midwest. So, you know, we'll change it to fit the map that it's in. Anyway. Yeah, so I previously had a air vent big prop up here, but it seemed like that just got in the way of engineers when they're sentries, so I got rid of that, and B seems to hold now pretty well. Once you build up in here and you build up over here, it gives engineers more options, and it gives blue some options for getting down through here to come out here. You know, you can spy route your way over this way, around here, up this over here, and deal with the sentries over there. If you're a spy, you can actually, you can jump on top of this. And can you still do this? You used to be able to jump on here and here. You could go from here to here to here. It may not actually work anymore because I moved some things around. So if I want to keep that, I might have to change it a bit. At least red can go from here to here to here, you know, if they want to. But I don't know. Let's settle loading zone B to tell you that this is B point. But B point was actually defending, which is great. At least a little bit. The problem I had with the last version of the map, A17, that was in between videos, is that blue team kind of rolled it, which was real bad, and showed that there are parts of the map that needed to be addressed that I haven't addressed yet, because either number one, I didn't want to, number two, I didn't have an idea, or number three, I just was lazy. A combination of the three is the reason why there are problems with mapping. Either you don't want to do it, you don't know what to do, or you just don't want to. That's how it is with pretty much everything. Anyway, B was defendable when this map wasn't steamrolling. So with the changes to A and to B, hopefully that makes it more defendable for red team. I greatly dislike steamrolls. It's not fun for anybody. It's not fun for the attacking team. It's not fun for the defending team, definitely. But the attacking team's like, this is just easy. We just got heavy on the cart and we win. The defending team's like, what do we do? We keep killing them, but they don't stop. So it's not fun. So I want the map to be fun. You know, when you play a game, or at least when you play a game like Team Fortress 2, let's see, what's the phrase? When you play a game, it needs to either be fun or interesting. TF2 is both, but mostly you want people to have fun. So, hopefully this will lead to some fun. The big thing that have really changed, well, actually, I also got rid of this bridge here. The reason why this bridge was here before, it was very awkward. I didn't like it, but I had put it there because I got some feedback about sight lines here. And I misthought what that feedback really was. The problem was not that snipers were all the way down here shooting their way up there. That was not necessarily the problem. The problem was this corner. Because it used to be that you could snipe from here all the way to there. And that's a problem. Even though I put a sign here and I put a bridge here because I thought the problem was down here so that the bridge would give blue team another route to get over here to try to deal with snipers. That wasn't really the problem. So now that I've addressed C and changed it up quite a bit, still trying to keep the same theme of the focus being on this conveyor belt thing because I like it and I want that to be C. When you think C on Midwest, you think of that conveyor belt thing from Granary, which is the only map that I can think of that uses that officially. I don't think any other maps officially use that particular prop. Maybe Maple Ridge Event. Don't quote me on that. Maybe. No, I think it's a different conveyor, but anyway, I'm getting off topic. I wanted to move all this around mainly because C did not have much in the way of defendable space. When I was first making this point, first getting it tested way back in Alpha 1, the red team was able to defend C due to sniper sight lines and high defense positions. As the map changed throughout different iterations, red became less and less able to get to those high positions, and I fixed up some of those sight lines, closed them up more and more and more, to the point that now blue just rolls on through it. So, by changing things up, hopefully it will be a bit more defendable now. because of these two shacks. So you can now build a sentry in here, which will not only cover the point, but also cover this. You can cover people over here. And you can build a sentry over here to cover the point and cover all of this lovely stuff. And they're going to be a little bit difficult to destroy. Of course, this is C, so it's supposed to be harder than B, but easier than D. That's the way that the flow is supposed to go in a payload map, or in a multiple point map anyway. If you're building up over here, you are opening your sentry up to demo man grenades, because you can fire the grenades. Well, you can't really see. If you're going this way, you can't necessarily see up in there for the sentry, depending upon what angle you have. You can lob grenades and stickies in there pretty easily, which you do not get the option or the opportunity to do that while not getting within the sentry range over here. But there is this path back here that spies or explosive classes, anybody who takes this upper path, can get around, go down, and go behind and attack the engineer and their sentry and whatever they have built up over here. Might be a little bit dark, might need to put some lights in there, but, you know, the paths work, hopefully. I also wanted to kind of open up the clutter underneath this conveyor belt. Previously, I had closed a lot of it up with fences and stuff, and I felt like that wasn't really taking advantage of the prop, since I want that prop to be the specific main focus of C. So I wanted to open it up a little bit more, and by having this other path around behind it, I think that does that. It still is blocked. You can't shoot from here to here because of the fence and whatnot, but you can walk around there. An engineer can build a sentry in here. They can then build the dispenser in the doorway, which will help block from spies, but spies can still sap, kill, stab, move on. I also moved this. That window used to be open over here, but the problem was that you could have a sight line from here all the way over to here, which was bad for both teams. Sniper on red could stand here and cover that window. Sniper on blue could stand here and cover that doorway. So I moved it over this way, that no longer happens. Sniper here could cover this doorway, which is a lot more open, and a sniper here could cover that window and not really cover a whole heck of a lot else of important unless they move themselves up to, like, this area. You could also put a sentry here a little bit. You got a little bit of cover. I don't know how well of a sentry spot this would be, but, you know, that kind of stuff. Another sightline that I was worried about, of course, was the big one with this corner, which was from here all the way over to there, which is no longer a thing because of this little shed building. Took me a while to actually finally figure out what to do for this corner. Originally, I was doing some funky business with fences, and it looked like crap, and it just didn't feel right. And then I'm like, you know what? Just put a freaking shed there. And then I put a shed there. And it works perfectly. I mean, instead of trying to have weird buildings sticking out of here or fences and whatnot, just put a dang shed there. You can't see sniping around the corner because it gets blocked by the shed and blocked by this silo thing. If you want to snipe that, you got to get down here, which leaves you a bit more of an open area. You can still cover over there, but, I mean, you can get on top of this, too. This is a play space, and so is here, so you can rocket jump up here and rocket jump over there. If you get up here, you can also use that to attack the sentry that is over there, and whatnot. Plus, there's health and ammo inside there if you happen to take a little bit too much damage going through this way. And I opened up this area a little bit more, similar to what I did with B, so that it feels a bit less claustrophobic, just by making things a bit flatter, which hopefully makes it play a little bit better. At least that's the hope. There's also a drop-down over here. I don't know if I showed this off last time. The reason why the drop-down's here is because of this door. Now, a problem I was having a couple versions ago is that Red Team was actually using this building to flank Blue. So Blue would go this way to push their cart, Red would then go through the building and come out here and get behind them. And that's not what's supposed to happen. This building is for Blue Team. So I put a door here that only opens after C is captured, but I still wanted a way for Blue Team to be able to get down here without Red Team being able to easily get up here for flanking. So I have a drop down here, so Blue Team, they can spawn, they can go this way, they can go up this, over this, and down in here, right to that health pack and whatnot, and be completely undercover, or they can go this way and go down here. I had stuff over here, I cut it, No one really used it, didn't really have a purpose, and it just opened up to making C even easier to push into, so I cut it, it's gone, it's not there anymore. Don't worry about it, forget it. It never existed. But once C is captured, blue then uses this spawn. This is a trade spawn. It goes from red to blue. I actually have 2 trade spawns in this map, which I'm very surprised I was able to get to work. The first trade spawn is, of course, this one. That starts out red, then goes to nobody, then goes to blue as the points are captured. Then there's this one that starts out nobody, then goes to red, then goes to blue. And I'm surprised I was able to get them to work, because trade spawns are a whole noodly mess of logic, but, you know, it plays pretty well. And then, yeah, I closed up this as well. There used to be a path that went around here. I didn't really see a purpose for it. Nobody used it, from what I could see, really, and there's better ways to get over here, and all I did was just open up more sniper sightlines and whatnot, so I closed that off. Might open it up again later on, depending upon what I need to do. Who knows? Anyway, moving on to D. D has had some changes. This I think I did last time. Did I talk about this last time when I put this door here? Or maybe that was the version between videos that I put this door here. Anyway, I put this door here to try to give red a quicker access to this upper area for defending C, because this is really one of the main platforms for defending C, at least since the inception of C. That has been a main platform for defending it. Previously, I had this door, which once C is captured, it shuts. I had it over here, so you would go this way, and then you'd go through it. But the problem is that would shoot you out the quickest spot over here, well, it's not on the other side, and the other side is where you want to be. You don't want to be over here, you want to be over there. You could, I mean, previously you could go up there, and then you could walk all the way over here, and then over there, but I just felt it would be quicker to have it moved over here. And, the last version I did a video of, I believe, had a lot of drop-downs over here, so I wanted to address those drop-downs, because blue didn't like having to deal with all those drop-downs, or red didn't like having to deal with all those drop-downs, because, you know, they're one way. So, change things around a little bit. You now have steps going up here, steps going up here, so you can go from here to get up this way. I don't remember if that was in the last version or not. There's so many, I've done so many versions of this map, it's hard to remember. But I also added this stairwell. So now you can go from down here, red can go up here for defending, and blue can go down there for attacking, or like if blue's over here, and they're getting their butt kicked, and they want a little bit of cover, or want to move where they're at, they can go this way, and quickly move the way around, grab that health pack, and then come up here to attack. And I added a bit more cover over here because I also opened up this area. I widened that up a bit, specifically because I thought it was a little bit too thin, a little bit too claustrophobic, wanted to open it up, make it a bit wider, easier to get through, so you didn't feel like you were in an elevator, but by doing so, caused a big problem with your best friend sidelines, because blue's pushing through here, and then they get sniped from all the way over there, and I didn't want that, so I put this thing here, blocks the sightline, put these pipes here, blocks the sightline. Maybe there's still a little sightline there. That could be a problem. Shh, don't tell anybody. I can't really line it up, but, you know. But you do have this this movable staircase thing. I used to have over there to put steps there to make it a bit just easier to go up. But I moved the movable staircase thing over here. I like this prop. I want to use this prop, but it's trying to figure out where to place it has been a huge pain in my butt. I don't know why, but it's just been a massive pain. A big problem is that this railing is only on one side, and you can't, like, put the railing over there. It's annoying. But even though you can walk through the railing, because there's no collision on the railing, there's collision on the steps, though. Yeah, but you can go up here, if you're blue attacking, go over here to attack. There's health and ammo over there. I had them over here for a while, but I moved them up here, so they're a little bit more in cover and a little bit more in your face, so you can see them a little bit easier. Added some detail, changed around the track to match the now widened space. And I think that is it. How long have we been going here? About 25 minutes? Holy pants. Holy pants. Yeah, that's about it. I turned these 2 windows into 3 windows to fit the space, so now you've got a little bit less of an open space here, but you can still look through there and attack. Hopefully this will fix steamrolling problems and other issues this map has had through development. This map has changed a lot, but the thing that I'm rather happy about it is that after, like, the first couple initial versions where I had D over here on the right side of the map and C going around like that, the path has pretty much stayed the same throughout the development of the map. I mean, the path from blue spawn to A, even though B's changed up a lot, the path is still pretty much the same, and I'm very happy with that. I've changed around a lot of things to try to make the areas work heck of a lot better, and I feel that the map plays a lot better now than it used to. It used to be way too open, way too many sight lines, so on and so forth. When I was originally starting to make this map, I did not want it to be a huge mess of buildings. I wanted it to be more open and free-flowing. I do feel like it is more open than free-flowing than some of my previous versions, and other payload maps that I've seen, even though it did end up being a whole huge mess of buildings. That just kind of is TF2 mapping. You know, where do you put a location TF2? Well, you put it in a whole huge mess of buildings. I've seen that it's from what I've seen so far, it's very difficult to make like an all-outdoor TF2 map unless you want to replace buildings with tall cliffs, and then it's basically just, you know, a whole huge mess of buildings, but they're textured to look like a rock. So, I think it works. I think it fits the theme. I think it plays okay. I think the optimization's pretty good. I'm going to get this tested, see how it goes. Hopefully it's better than the previous versions. Thank you very much for watching this extended look at the next version of the map. Hopefully the next video won't be quite as long, and hopefully I'll get back to making other videos besides these look at my map videos at some point. Anyway, I'm the MegapiemanPHD. Thank you very much for watching. I will talk to you guys next time.